Chris and I just got to know each other, and we went to his place in South Lake Tahoe.
Already I knew that there's something really cool here between us.
We were on a hike, and so I stopped him in the middle of the hike.
And she means literally, no, we have to stop right now. Come back. And she's like, I have the perfect adventure.
Let's go to the 7 Wonders of the World in 2 weeks. And he goes, what? I'm like, I have those 2 weeks off of work. Why don't we do the 7 Wonders trip then?
I was like, that is something so beyond what I could even conceive that I'm in.
In November of 2014, I had a really interesting month, which started off with me falling off of a rock climb that I had been training for a while. And so I fell 50 feet and got banged up pretty bad. Exactly a week later, I was riding my Vespa to work and I got hit by a car, which then put me in the ER. Exactly a week after that, I got diagnosed with skin cancer. Having 3 events like that happen, it's easy to give up on any kind of passions or dreams and kind of feel sorry for yourself. The great thing was I just met this guy, he's right here, and he was the only person really around that wasn't feeling sorry for me. I had just talked to him and told him that I got diagnosed with skin cancer, and he was like, okay, yeah, you'll get through that. So then what do you want to do now? What's your next adventure? And then it kind of got me out of this different mindset of not feeling sorry for myself and realizing that, you know, I am a survivor. I can keep going. At the time, I was 30 years old when I got this skin cancer removed. And I cleared all my margins on December, I think it was December 15th. It was 7 Wonders, 13 days. I went with somebody that I'd only known for like 2 weeks. But ultimately, it was kind of this new life purpose on to just live more every day. The biggest thing that you're gonna have at the end of the day is regret for the things that you didn't do.
Arun and I met at the American Film Institute in Los Angeles, where we had moved to pursue our dreams of feature filmmaking and try to make it big in Hollywood. But what we realized is that something was lost by living in such a thick, dense metropolis with wall-to-wall traffic and millions of people going to and fro every day. And so we banded together and got out of the city into some dark sky environments to shoot some night sky time-lapse videos. And only when we started doing that did we realize what it was that was missing.
We looked up and suddenly saw millions of stars and realized, wow, we've been living in this city where we couldn't see a single one of them. And it was almost like a flashback to early childhood, to some of those most beautiful memories of sitting out in the docks and being out in the wilderness and looking up.
It's something that's so easy to take for granted, but what we realized is that for a lot of people, the idea of an incredible night sky is becoming more science fiction than ever before. Asking them if they've seen the Milky Way is like asking them if they've seen a unicorn.
When we started to realize what made the stars go away in Los Angeles, we had heard this term sky glow, or light pollution, and we wanted to understand what this was.
The reason we can seldom see the stars from urban locations is because of a phenomenon called light pollution. Light that shines above the horizon does nothing that's useful. It simply lights up the sky. It bounces off of water vapor, the oxygen, dust particles, smog, anything in the atmosphere the light scatters off of. So a person standing on the street looking up is bombarded with light coming from the sky itself. In essence, we've created an artificial daylight. This is light pollution. And the first thing you lose, well, is the very faintest stars, which includes the Milky Way.
We have lost almost the entire east coast of America. Almost every city on the east coast is light polluting to such a degree that there's only maybe one or two tiny little spots in all of the east coast where Milky Way can be seen. And we had realized that much of the west coast has been affected by this, and much of the world, in fact all of Europe. 50% of light that we use as human beings, in most cases, is actually pointed directly into the atmosphere, meaning an enormous waste of resources, enormous waste of power. It's basically lighting nothing.
And what we realize is that there really is sort of a universal connection to the night sky and to the stars. And it's not just about something pretty to look at. It's about perspective. It's about losing yourself. It's about realizing that the problems that are getting you down in your day are not really that big when you can sit back and look up at something as infinite as a universe that's above us.
Given the response our time lapses have had on the internet with millions upon millions of views, and so much media that has come and asked us about what we've been doing, we thought that perhaps one of the most useful things we can do is educate the public of the very same things we had learned through this process.
With Project Skyglow, we're going to visit some of the most exotic dark sky locations in North America and photograph them before it's too late. And our hope with that is that we will both inspire and educate people to get out there and look up and recognize what an incredible resource the night skies actually are.
We have designed this Kickstarter so each individual backer can make a difference in their own way. Whether they purchase the book to educate themselves about the issue of light pollution and the stars, or to gift it to somebody else, or even do things like change the light bulbs of their house and decrease their impact on the light pollution of their city, of their town.
There is a profound biological system that revolves around our relationship to the universe, and we believe that's gotten lost.
We know where we are, in the galaxy or in the universe. We know that we are part of something vastly greater than ourselves, and we know how we fit in.
Individuals can fight to make a difference, to stand up, and to make the small changes required to protect these resources, not just for our grandchildren, but for our great-great-great-grandchildren and beyond.